Hi guys, so the return of the JDM Sports Cars and Coupes. Yes, could this be really happening? Harking back to the golden era of say the 80s and 90s? Well, there's some very interesting concepts coming out of the Tokyo Motor Show, and I'll get right into them after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Right, so as I said, you remember in the 1980s and 90s, not only did Japan give us tons of sports cars from the Nissan Z models to Honda's incredible NSX, but they'd often take two doors off and turn saloons into coupes. We even had things like the Honda Accord Coupe, and the Datsun Bluebird had a two-door version as well. In fact, many other manufacturers also gave us coupes back then. Remember sexy stuff like the Vauxhall Calibra and the Peugeot 406 Coupe. Trouble is, nowadays, the two-door coupes are virtually extinct. Frankly, there's barely any saloons left, sadly. But just like fashion trends often go full circle, it could be that we're going to see a renaissance of coupes. And that change might actually be coming from Japan, the land of the rising sun, because there's a lot of great concepts that have just come out of the Tokyo Motor Show. Actually, they call it the Tokyo Mobility Show now. I don't really like that. I think, you know what, let's just keep calling it the Tokyo Motor Show. So Toyota has already been leading the way in this field by bringing back the Supra and giving us the brilliant little GT86 or GR86, whatever you want to call it. Now, they've still got their foot on the accelerator pedal and have shown us this. I know, it looks like a Lotus a little bit, right? But this is the FTSE concept. Now, it could be a replacement for the GR86, though there is some suggestion that it could also be the next MR2. Now, this would-be Mr. 2 is going to be an EV, but it's touted as a sports car for the carbon neutral era. The exterior is super sharp, I really like it. The interior is very minimalist. Again, I think those Lotus vibes are definitely coming through. Now, it barely even manages a steering wheel, quite frankly. That's like a yoke, isn't it? And while it's not shown in the pictures, there's some suggestion that Toyota's patented simulated manual gear shift, it's a completely artificial gear shift that feels like an actual manual, that might also be involved in this thing if it ever made it to production.
Brown car guy.
Now, one of my all-time favorite sports cars was the Prelude, the Honda Prelude. Now, that actually started off as a kind of two-door Civic in its very early days, but then it very much developed its own identity and its very, very sleek style. Now, this concept was revealed with the Prelude nameplate, and that makes me very happy. Now, Honda's boss said it was a specialty sports model that will offer exhilarating experience that makes you want to keep going forever and extraordinary excitement you have never felt before. So I guess that's confirmation that this thing actually will make production. It's more swoopy than sleek this time, but it might just be a modern version of an Integra Type R. Remember those? Why? Because this is going back to its roots and it's probably going to be based on the Civic platform. So you see what I'm driving at here? Imagine this with a Type R drivetrain. Ho-ho!
Brown car guy.
Oh, and behold this beast. Now, Nissan has lately gone crazy with a bunch of very striking concept cars. I was at the reveal of one of them right here in London. Video link above, below, whatever. Now, they're really going for this sharp-edged, rakish design language with a very futuristic sci-fi theme that really appeals to me. This latest concept is so mean that it could even have a Halloween theme, which is appropriate for today if you're watching this on Halloween. Now, you've probably guessed what it's alluding to, the next generation Nissan GT-R, so the R36, I suppose. Now, even the name of this thing is awesome. It's called the Hyperforce Concept. It'll probably turn up in Gran Turismo, the game, so not so much in real life. I think it's going to be a concept, especially as it's envisaged as an EV with 1,341 brake horsepower. And that's for the interior. That is so Tron-tastic. I love it, actually. It's amazing. Now, I can definitely see some of the exterior styling cues of this making it through to the next GT-R, so watch this space.
Brown car guy.
And finally, there's this thing, a real thing of beauty. It hints at a future return of the much-loved and much-missed Mazda RX sports cars, the RX-7 and the RX-8. Funnily enough, This concept, which is called the iconic SP, was revealed the same night that I was on the launch drive of the new MX-30R EV. And this concept basically features the next evolution of that same rotary-engined hybrid plug-in drivetrain that exists in that MX-30 family car. But whereas that's a single rotor motor engine, this concept gets a dual rotary powertrain. The thing, I gotta say, this thing is as sexy as hell. It's totally curvaceous and voluptuous in a quite classically delightful way. Frankly, it's gorgeous. And Mazda, if you're listening, build this thing. I mean, it is just absolutely beautiful. I think it's probably the most beautiful thing to come out of the Tokyo Motor Show. So the big takeaway from all of this, it is that the era of the two-door coupe and the JDM sports car could be back. Is it? Well, you tell me in the comments below. Personally, I hope so. I really, really do.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these three little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.